Print-on-demand embroideries may be the easiest way to create a design that looks fancier, that maybe justifies the cost of having a print-on-demand purchase by a buyer that will pay more for a print-on-demand t-shirt than they would if they just get a random t-shirt from AliExpress or even from their local mall. There are a lot of different things that you can embroider. There are a lot of different products that you can embroider on, and I'm going to be covering some of these in this video because, of course, I'm one person. I cannot cover everything. I will be covering print-on-demand products that you can sell with Printful as a supplier. I have a bunch of Printful products right over here. I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts when it comes to embroidery products from my personal experience. And I'm going to talk about the different designs that you can have on them, the different products that you can embroider, and of course the difference between selling Printful embroidered products on Etsy, Shopify, WooCommerce, Squarespace versus selling Printful embroidered products using Fourthwall Shop Builder, which is the service that I am using. I really want to get started, but I have to get one thing out of the way first, which is, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meo and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And today I'm all about print-on-demand embroidery. So what kind of products can we embroider? Let's do the whole top thing. We have hats, we have beanies. I think the bucket hat can also be embroidered, different kind of cap hats, dad hats. I don't know the difference between a trucker hat or a dad hat. I wasn't raised in the US. I just know a hat with a cap and a hat that's a beanie. That's pretty much it. But we can embroider all of those. Now with hats, most of the embroidery products that you will find, the embroidery will be here, whether it's on the beanie or on the top of the hat. We can also embroider tank top, t-shirts, polo t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts. And when it comes to these products, we have a lot of different placements, whether it's to embroider some kind of a side pocket, more like the actual polo t-shirts that had the embroidered polo on them. Or we can embroider a center, we can embroider the shoulders. There are many, many placements where you can embroider, and you can also combine these placements together by embroidering both sleeves or embroidering the center in one sleeve. And every one of these placements come with a price tag. So embroidering multiple placements on a t-shirt, on a hoodie, on a tank top will have a different base cost to it, much like we discussed in the hoodies video that was on this channel, I think like 2 weeks ago, where I was showing that basically if you print on multiple placements on a hoodie, it will cost you a different amount of money to fulfill that order. So the end item would have to be more expensive. You can also embroider fleece joggers. I saw that on Printful. I actually haven't ordered those because I just saw them now. That looks kind of interesting, especially just the fleece joggers, because I do have their other joggers in my possession. I was all set on making a video about print-on-demand pants, but now I think that I should order the fleece embroidered one just to add them into the mix because of the different fabric, but we'll see how that goes. You can also embroider jackets. They have a lot of bomber jackets and the denim jackets that can be embroidered, as well as aprons. For example, you can also just embroider patches, which the whole thing is basically embroidery, where people can later on patch this onto their hats, to their denim pants, to their denim jackets, or whatever. If you want to see the full list of embroidered products, just go to your supplier, in this case Printful, and click on embroidered products and check them out. Or if you're using Fourthwall, just go to all products and select embroidered. Now let's talk about the designs that can be embroidered on these products. What kind of designs can you embroider? So for example, any kind of symbol that relates to your niche. Let's say your niche is a pugs, so a symbol, an SVG basically of a pug. You can also make it a little bit complex. It doesn't have to be a single color. You can also embroider bunny ears and cat face, or again, whatever relates to your niche. Any kind of symbol that relates to your niche. Let's say your niche is chess, you can embroider a knight on a pocket of a t-shirt. That kind of embroidery of a symbol or a simple illustration can be one color or multiple colors. And I do have some examples here. You can also embroider a text that relates to your niche. If you guys have seen the print-on-demand photoshoot day that I had with Sivan, she opened a Fourthwall shop called Ice Queen Style because she's an ice skater, and she was literally modeling, and we were taking photos that day of her in her polo t-shirt that says Ice Queen on it. This was one of the easiest designs ever to make because, you know, it's just text, Ice Queen, because that's what she calls herself, and also that's something that will identify with anyone who's ice skating and a girl. You can also embroider short motivational quotes, things like "be beautiful" with a B, or "I wore this for some of the videos, the practice makes faster." I will also be showing that sweatshirt today. So anything that is short, whether it's a center placement or a side placement. You can also embroider monograms. So the first letter, the initial letter of someone, or full monograms, whether you're doing it custom order to clients or you're just making it available on your store for anyone to order. I do know that a lot of people have made like patches with letters of the alphabet because maybe I would want to order a patch with a letter M on it. Now, when we're talking about the main difference between embroidery and DTG printing or DTFX printing, that's the colors. And I'm not talking about RGB versus CMYK or how the colors are going to appear. I'm talking about literally the thread colors that the company has to create a design. So in order for you to create an embroidered design, you have to have the supplier have that thread color to literally embroider that on the t-shirt, on the apron, on the tank top, on the hat, whatever. And here is a great way to sort of split between doing Printful embroidered products using Printful with Etsy, Shopify, WooCommerce, Squarespace, or using Printful as a supplier when you have your own Fourthwall store. Just a small note for those of you who don't know the difference between having both of them. When you're working with Printful and having your own shop on Etsy, Shopify, Squarespace, WooCommerce, you create the product over on Printful and then integrate it or import it into your own shops. Now, when you're with Fourthwall, Printful is already integrated within the shop builder, so you're designing the whole process on Fourthwall. And there are some differences, whether it comes to the pricing or the abilities, and embroidery is a great way to see that. When it comes to Printful, we have digitization fees, and that's something that I haven't done that much because I never wanted to pay an extra fee just to make sure my file looks good. When it comes to Fourthwall, we do not have those digitization fees because it's sort of included in the product itself. It's like a bump of $1 or $2 from the initial product to fulfill it when it comes to embroidered. I will leave a link down below to a text explaining the whole digitization process with Printful because I really don't want to get too much into that. That's not the topic of the video. I feel like the show and tell will be more about the topic of the video or what to embroider. The second thing that is a main difference between working with Fourthwall or working with Printful with other shop builders would be the amount of colors that you have. So when we're looking into Fourthwall and embroidered products, we have 15 thread colors that are available to be thread on a design. So if you want to create an embroidered design that is 5 shades of pink, you can't do that because there is only one pink. It's as simple as that. And you can combine up to 6 different colors in a single placement area. So you cannot make a design on a chest on a t-shirt that has 10 different colors at the same time. The maximum is 6 out of the 15 available colors. And when it comes to directly doing this with Printful, you have the choice with some of the products to choose between this limited version of embroidery, 15 different colors and 6 colors in a placement area, or unlimited colors, which obviously cost more to digitize. Now, I would like to show you, for example, the design of this cow and how it will be embroidered in a limited version with 15 color threads and only 6 per thread, or on the other hand, how this would look if we have endless colors. Obviously, I wouldn't choose this design because it's vertical and not horizontal, but I will be talking about that a little bit later on with the do's and don'ts. One cool thing about the thread colors is that you can change the thread colors without actually changing the design. So for example, if I uploaded this design, this white text on this t-shirt, I cannot change the text into black. If I can make the text directly from Printful or Fourthwall, but if I upload a file, I can't change the color of the text. That is not the same case with embroidery. When it comes to embroidery, let me just show you how it looks on a cow that I upload. When digitizing this cow, I can literally change the color of the thread of the nostrils of the cow. Or when it comes to text, I can upload a piece of text and change the color of the thread. So I will not have to download this text in white in order to put it on black beanies and in black in order to put it on bright beanies. I can just have one file and it can even be yellow, and then just change the color of the thread to match the color of the beanie, or more like to contradict the color of the beanie. I do have a lot more tips to give you when it comes to print-on-demand embroidery, more like do's and don'ts. But before we get to that, it's show and tell time. Okay, let's get started. Where am I putting my stuff? Okay, I do have hats here. We have had a hat. I think it was Love Yourself or More Self-Love with the photo shoot with Sivan. She took that hat with her. The thing is that I actually had a test hat for her shop that arrived after she had left, and that is this one. It's the tie-dye beanie, which is super awesome, and it says Ice Queen on it. This design was super simple to make. It was as simple as choosing this beanie and literally using the text option, writing Ice Queen. That's it. That's it. And choosing the thread color black. That was pretty much the entire design. There was no other work involved in it. And the thing is that you might not like this specifically, but if you were an ice skating woman, I think you would think that this is pretty dope. And yeah, probably worth the amount of money you'd spend on it, because I don't think that ice skating women, again, a niche shop, can just go to a random shop and find Ice Queen on a beanie. Next up, we have another beanie, and this one is from my shop, and it says Motivated. It's the cow niche. And I'm just gonna have it on for the rest of the video. It doesn't match my colors today, but I kind of like it. This wasn't made with the text feature. I just wrote the word motivated on Canva, exported the file, and here with the blue beanie, I chose the navy, like the dark navy color thread, but I could have just easily made a black beanie with a white color thread, and I wouldn't have to go ahead and change the design, just the color of the thread. Another hat that I have here is Be Beautiful. And as you can see here, the bee is simple clip art of a bee and beautiful. What niche would that go in? Probably will go into anyone who's doing bee niches, doing puns, or doing any kind of, self-love, self-care, self-acceptance, all that jazz. Actually, a really good hat. I'm going to put hat on hat. No, I'm going to put it aside. I like my beanie. Okay, next up, let's do polos. Okay, and you're gonna be seeing this cow a lot. This is a white polo that I'm afraid to mess up with maybe residue makeup I have on my hands, but this is a polo t-shirt, and here you can see my pretty little cow. And I'm gonna put it in on the screen right now, the original illustration of this cow, so you can see that the colors are a little bit different. And the reason for that is again, we have thread colors that you choose manually from a list of 15 available colors. These were all made with a limited option. So it's not the exact color of the cow that I designed, but it is something that I like. Anyway, this is the Gildan soft style polo t-shirt size large, and it doesn't fit me. I feel like it's too restrictive at the bottom of it, so I'm not really into wearing it or modeling it at all. Also, it's not a modeling video, it's more like, the concept of embroidered. And again, for those of you who have seen the photo shoot video, you know this one. It's the Cotton Heritage hoodie, and it has this cow embroidered on it. I have a bunch of photos from that photo shoot that day. It was really, really cool. I personally don't like the Cotton Heritage hoodies and how they look on me or feel on me. I feel like they would fit more someone who has an upside down triangle body shape and not a guitar shaped body like me. But that's just personally me. And if you want to hear me talk more about different types of hoodies when it comes to how they feel on you, if they're worth the price, you can go ahead and check out that video. There was a full video about that. Moving on to the same cow, but this time on a Gildan 18,000 sweatshirt size large. Ta-da! I love the center placements. Of course, this would look completely different if this was a full print. Yes. And in fact, I have the 18,000 Gildan with a full print. This one is size extra large, not large. And you can see obviously the difference between the size. This is the maximum size that I can have centered on this design, and it's centered this way. It's centered horizontal. I'm going to show you on another sweatshirt in a second, but I'm very pleased with the quality of it. I think it will make like a really good pajama. And again, this relates to my niche. Last but not least, I have a sweatshirt that I wore for several videos already. And here you can see the full capabilities when it comes to the size of the print in the middle. And here all I had to do was write the words "practice makes perfect" and change the colors of the thread. That's it. I thought it will be really good, like the cascading colors on top of the navy color of the sweatshirt. And yeah, let me zoom in because I really love the thread work here. I think it came out perfect. I don't know if my camera is going to zoom in on that or it's going to try to autofocus out of it. Yep. I think now we can see it better. To me, this is just perfect work. It's a very, again, easy way to create a product that looks fancy and justifies the costs of print-on-demand fulfilled products in a very easy way. And now, before we get to the do's and don'ts section when it comes to print-on-demand embroidery and summarize this video, I would like to kindly ask you that if you like this video so far or found this content useful, please hit the like button down below, because every time you do that, believe it or not, it really does help my channel. And subscribe to my channel for more tutorials about print-on-demand and how to sell cool stuff online, whether it's design tutorials, marketing tutorials, or product reviews, or combined videos like this one. Moving on to the do's and don'ts. So don't design something that has lines that are too thin. And in here, I also have to say, maybe yes, like this line is considerably thin, but it might not have looked good on a t-shirt on a soft fabric because this hat is very rough. So on rougher items, the lines can be generally thinner than on softer items, the softer feel items. And you also have to remember, again, this is embroidered, this is not printing. So make sure that you keep gaps between everything, otherwise things can get a little bit connected. Second up, don't design something that is too vertical if you want to place it in the center, because this is pretty much the height that you're going to have. So if the design is very vertical, it might not look as good. And I'm not telling you don't use it if you have it, but if I had to right now think, for the cow niche, I want to create an embroidered sweatshirt and I want to create a new clip art, I am going to create that clip art more horizontally aligned than vertically aligned, knowing that it's going to fit on the sweatshirt in the middle, or even thinking about a 1:1 ratio. Number 3, don't use external mockups. I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm the biggest like, oh, use mockups from Placeit. Yeah, but the mockups from Placeit are DTG printing. Or DTFX even. A lot of the mockups from Placeit look like DTFX when in fact the product is DTG. But the biggest problem here is if I'm going to take a t-shirt or a hoodie and I'm going to embroider it, the design is going to look totally different than if I'm going to print it. And when it comes to external mockups, 99.9% of them are going to look as if it's printed, which will be misleading your consumer and also misrepresenting your product, whether they would prefer it to be printed and be disappointed that it's embroidered, or they thought it was embroidered, looked at the mockup and saw that it's printed instead. Make sure to make do with the mockups that you do have, and in some cases, yeah, order your own products. I think that's brilliant. I'm also reminded that I should already do like the photo shoot of how to photograph your own products yourself and not have someone come with you for a photo shoot. Please let me know if you guys are interested in that, like how to photograph your own products for print on demand, like when you got them yourself in your home alone, how to make good photos of those. Another one, I think we're at number 4, I think. Keep in mind the thread colors available when designing a product. And I mean when making the design. And again, I'm not saying, hey, I created this clip art, now I can't use it. I'm saying, again, if I wanted to create something that will be for a product that is embroidered, I'm going to be thinking in advance about the colors. Because if I'm going to create something that has 4 different shades of brown in it, it's probably not going to look good when it comes to the limited embroidery that has only 15 threads. So keep that in mind. If you're designing for this product to be embroidered, just keep that in mind. One thing that I do have to say here is do not embroider your store logo. I see this all the time. I see this with new shops. I remember getting this like years ago, whether it's embroidered or it's like a logo, like a centered one or a pocket one that is DTG printed or DTFX. But people who say like, I don't know why I'm not getting any sales. So they came up with a brand name and then they opened a store and the designs are the brand logo. And yes, People will buy a t-shirt or a bag that is embroidered or printed with LV from Louis Vuitton. And people did buy polo t-shirts that have the polo logo here. But the polo logo wasn't because I love the polo logo. It was because I want to show people that I'm wearing an original polo. So when you're designing your company's logo and no one knows your company, who's gonna buy it? It's not like your company made this t-shirt or this hoodie. Your company made this design. This hoodie is Gildan or Cotton Heritage or Bella Canvas. You didn't make the hoodie, you didn't make the t-shirt. I don't see a point of you embroidering your logo unless you're a content creator and people like that logo because they want to support you and show their support onto you, or if your logo is something that could be relatable to the niche itself. If Sivan's Ice Queen store had a logo of an ice skate, she could have embroidered it on a t-shirt. People will not say, "Ooh, this is an original Ice Queen style polo t-shirt, I'm gonna get it." No, people would say, "Oh, I'm an ice skater and this is a polo t-shirt with an ice skate on it." Same way, by the way, for me, for the cows niche, my shop's name is Cow's Life. I can do Cow's Life because people would like it as a phrase, not just because they want to support my store or my brand or believe that my t-shirts are somehow different than other t-shirts. So that's the biggest don't that I have, that I feel like it's I see this a lot. I saw it also in shop submissions for shop reviews. I do believe that there is a place for your own branding to brand your clothes, whether it's inside, whether it's on the sleeve in some cases, but in a lot of cases, to make a design that is purely just branding you to people who don't know you, it's just a waste of time for creating products. It's just my opinion. In any case, I ran out of the things to say. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I don't have a lot to say about embroidery. I am thinking about ordering that joggers thing before making the full pants video with the fleece joggers with the embroidery. I think it's a kind of a cool idea. Of course, I'll update you guys if I will. I will also be making a video including this t-shirt, because I'm finally making the t-shirt videos coming up in March, comparing multiple different types of t-shirts. I have made the hoodies comparison video, which I know a lot of you have been waiting for, and if you haven't watched it, I really recommend watching it to anyone who wants to sell their own hoodies, because you do need to know what hoodie type to choose. You do need to know how to talk about a certain hoodie, how it feels, and I feel like maybe that's a quick way to see these things without having to order every single type of hoodie for yourself and spending money on that. So there will be a link to that hoodies video somewhere on the screen. And with that being said, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. There is a short bloopers reel of behind the scenes of me struggling with the word digitization right after I say bye. So I'm going to say bye, and you can go ahead and laugh about that one. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! When it comes to Fourthwall, we don't have these digitization fees, which obviously costs more to digit of me trying to say the word digitization.